All right, here we go, guys. We're here for UFC 325, the main event. Alexander Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopes. Volk just keeps landing this big right hand on Diego, but Diego just eat it. Since Lopes can eat the shots, then that's where you got to start going for brokers. Like, okay, if I can eat your best shots, then I think you can eat my best shot. So you got to get him to stop moving. Oh my God! Oh my God! All right, 1-1. Here we go. Ruffy is so explosive. He has like that wiry twitch. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my goodness! Yeah, damn! Wow, I've never seen Fiziev get there. Wow, that's the thing, man. Once he just goes, that's when he typically is at his best. When he just goes, but when he's looking for that shot, it just takes him a longer time to find that shot. But when he goes, he actually finds the shot a lot sooner. Wow. All right, there we go. Round one. Ooh, nice body kick. That hurt him. That hurt him. That hurt him. Oh, dude. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Oh, that's it. That's game. Oh, now he's out. Now he's fucked. Bam. Worked him. Worked him. All right, here we go, guys. We're here for UFC 325, the main event. Alexander Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopes. I truly believe this is Volk's last fight. Round one, here we go. Ooh, good for Volk. And see, since Lopes can eat the shots, then that's where you got to start going for brokers. Like, okay, if I can eat your best shots, then I think you can eat my best shot. So you got to get him to stop moving and have him fight you. And see, that's the thing too. Diego has not shot one takedown yet, not one. Oh my God. I mean, Volk just keeps landing this big right hand on Diego, but Diego just eat it. If Diego was 37, he wouldn't. Look at that. Okay, let's see if you can finish that. Ooh, beautiful right hand. Oh, damn, Volk is on fire. And Lopes is a emotional fighter. You hit him, I gotta hit you back harder. Great fight. Good job for Volk. Like I said before, when you're fighting Volk, you're fighting his body, obviously, but his IQ was so high that the angle changing. In the first round, Diego was doing a good job of cutting him off and making him not get that angle or whatnot. But then Volkanovski went back the other way and he kept circling into the power. You heard me here, Caesar. Go out on top, baby. Go out on top. Go out on top. There's a wife. The pops. Wow. I thought he's going to call it quits. Good for him. You go, old man Volk. Let's talk about PrizePicks. Obviously, you guys know we had some lineups going up tonight. And let me tell you guys right now, we took some L's. I'm not going to lie. The one fight we did have going into tonight, our pick was the heavyweight fight was going to end in the first round. And guess what, guys? It did not end in the first round. So we got a fat L. But you know what? We had a good time making it pick. But guess what, guys? Super Bowl is next weekend, the final NFL game of the season. And right now they have the max discount. Drake May. All he's got to do is throw 1 yard. Complete 1 yard. It's very simple. You lock in that pick and you make a couple other picks. Boom, you got yourself a W. Just make sure you guys make the picks at the right place, which is PrizePicks. And obviously you guys got to go to your app store, download it. And when you do that, use my promo code MIGHTY. For new users, you play $5 and you get $50 instantly. So lock in the picks, right place, which is PrizePicks. Everything under the sun. Last game of NFL, Super Bowl is here. Mixed martial arts, League of Legends, NBA, you name it, they got it. So shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring this video. Now let us get back to the final thoughts of UFC 325. What's on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We just got done watching UFC 325. Alexander Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopes. Now, guys, I kind of knew that this was going to happen, but let's go down to the very first fight of the night and talk about that. Then we'll work our way up to the card, to the main event. Now, the very first fight that we watched tonight was Tuivasa taking on Texeira. Now, I know in that fight, somebody was going to get knocked out. Obviously, we have heavyweights going after each other, fighting each other. It's going to come down to who's going to knock who out first, right? And that's how I felt with this fight going on. Obviously, Tuivasa came out there guns blazing right off the rip, and the first thing that happened is Texeira takes him down immediately. And it was kind of like this, ground and pound lay on him. Texeira did a good job of attacking his post. You saw him go one-on-one to roll. We call it rolling the muffins. Or he went 2-on, rolling him off his post. Tuivasa just could not get anything going until the final round. You saw Tuivasa, he was landing some great shots, eating some shots, but landing some great shots. Texeira was exhausted, and at the end of the fight, you saw Tuivasa, he sprawled, and then he got up, and then he got taken down. At the end of the day, Tuivasa loses, and I think that gives him a 6-fight losing streak. Like I said before, you look at Patchy Mix, that man lost 2 in a row. They sent his ass to Ryzen, and you have Tuivasa, who's on a 6-fight win streak. A 6-fight losing streak. I wouldn't be surprised if they let him go. I think his game is going to be served better off in something like DBX or bare knuckle fighting if he wants to continue to fight. Obviously, I said in the final predictions, whoever is going to be more dynamic is going to win the fight, and that's what Texeira did. He was able to be more dynamic and get the victory over Tuivasa. Now let's move to the next fight. You have Rafael Fiziev taking on Ruffy, one of the boys from the Fighting Nerds. Now both these guys, you have Ruffy, who I feel he does very well when he just starts to fight. When he's looking for a shot, it's harder for him to find that shot, especially against somebody who's very technical sound, hands are up, always moving, going southpaw to orthodox, mixing it up, elevation change. When he's trying to find that shot, he's trying to find that sniper shot, he's trying to find it. But once he starts throwing his combination and starts moving and throwing that beautiful jab, he had a beautiful jab that he was popping Fiziev with. And then eventually they had a combination. Then he was able to catch him with that beautiful right hand when he was backing up, spun Fiziev around, follows up with the right hook, like a kind of right fader hook. He ends up continuing to get on him and ends up beating him. The one thing I do like about that fight is you saw Fiziev really throw a lot of body kicks. Those body kicks were sharp. And when he threw those body kicks, he didn't have to pay a price for it. He would throw a body kick, Ruffy would move. I felt Ruffy's having a hard time getting to that flow state, meaning his back was against the cage. He was kind of unsure what punch he wanted to throw at him. But once he was able to find the footing that he wanted to go about, not footing, but when he found the right punch he wanted to attack with, then you started to see him actually do pretty well. So Ruffy comes out on top. He ends up beating Fiziev. I kind of felt like, I'm not sure who I picked on that one, but I felt any one of those guys could win. I did not think Fiziev was going to get finished, though, because when Fiziev got finished, I've never seen him on skates like that. After all the guys he's fought, even when he fought, Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje did hurt him, but it was more of an uppercut. Where this, he was like, oh shit, where am I at? And got caught. Eventually, the ref ended up stopping it because he was taking way too much damage. So, congrats to Ruffy. Now, let's get to the co-main event. Dan Hooker taking on BSD. Now, the first round, Dan Hooker was looking really, really good. He kept throwing that jab, push kick right into BSD's solar plex, and you can see it and you can feel that thud just keep on landing inside. And I felt the first round he hurt BSD, but what does BSD do? BSD bites on his mouthpiece, he grits, and he just walks his way forward. The stuff he throws shouldn't be working, but it works for him, and that's when he does his best damage. If you go back and look at the fight, he just knocked out Benel Dariush, and when he fought Ruffy, he did the same thing. Ruffy was piecing him up, and he just kept going forward and eating all that stuff, and he's able to withstand any damage he can take from his opponents, and he's able to, his damage output is way higher than his opponents. Dan Hooker did do a good job of defending the takedown, but with using that guillotine. But that guillotine only works. It stops the takedown, but it doesn't stop the takedown to where you can end up in a better position. It almost ends up in a scramble. So he goes down, he gets his guillotine attempt, and he's not able to lock it up, but he's able to get his face off. But then eventually he has to give it his shoulder because he's going here, but he's able to get his hands in there and dig up underneath the underhooks. Dan Hooker got that guillotine in a couple times, but then like Armor Surukin, you spin out and they don't break their fucking necks and they're able to get out of it and becomes a little scramble. Round 2 comes, BSD goes out there once again, pushes the pace, jumps all over Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's not able to get him off. They go to the ground. Once they go to the ground, he's able to get... So the first time they go to the ground, BSD, his position awareness is very high. He realized that he was in a Kimura situation. He gets the head and arm. He goes at the Kimura. He's not able to get it, so the round ends. Second round, they're going. He ended up on mount. He could have did a triangle from mount, but he didn't. But he ran down some beautiful elbows over and over and over again. Eventually, he's working for that head and arm. He kept on going for it, He almost had the triangle choke, the head and arm triangle choke. Doesn't get it. He ends up getting back on top of Dan Hooker and ends up grinding him out with a ground and pound. Herb Deep sets in and stops it. That's 2 finishes for BSD and 2 finishes. Dan Hooker getting finished back to back. He got put to sleep and now you got TKO. So, you know, there's something going on with that. I believe it's the team. Tuivasa on a losing streak. Now you have Dan Hooker on a losing streak. I think those 2 guys trade together, but I could be wrong. So, but BSD gets the W over Dan Hooker in BSD fashion. So congrats to BSD. Now, the main event. Alex Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopes. Now, before this fight got made, I was saying all the time that I just feel it's too early for Diego Lopes. You don't get better by being active and fighting over and over and over. You get better by going to the gym, doing the fundamentals, and be able to adjust footwork against footwork, right? When you look at the first fight, when Diego Lopes and Alex Volkanovski fought, Alex Volkanovski kept circling away from the power. He kept circling away from the power, and he was always first. And each time he'll pop, he'll throw a jab, and the Diego Lopes was always second to respond. Diego Lopes never was the first one to lead the dance. Alex Volkanovski was always leading the dance the very first time they fought. Flash forward, I mean, it's like maybe 9 months ago. 9 months now brings us to this fight. He fought Gene Silva, now he fights Alex Volkanovski. And Gene Silva and Alex Volkanovski, 2 different athletes. You have one that's they both have high IQs, but I feel comfortable saying that the way Alex Volkanovski fights, his IQ it shines more, meaning that he'll go out there, he'll make adjustments, he'll see, okay, I'm gonna go to the right, okay, he's not adjusting, okay, I'll keep going this way, oh, he's adjusting, okay, I'm gonna readjust. And that's what Alex Volkanovski did in this fight. He went out there the first round, you saw Alex, he started circling away from the power. What did Diego did? Diego made an adjustment. Diego did not allow him to turn him. He basically cut him off. That's what you do. When somebody's trying to circle away from my power, I'm not gonna let you turn me. And so when I do throw my right hand, you're always turning. I'm going to step in front of you and reline you back up. So you want to turn into my power, circle into my power. So what did he do? Volkanovski went away from my power. Diego Lopes stepped in front of him. Alex Volkanovski goes, okay, perfect. I'm going to circle wide in front of your power. And when he did that, Diego Lopes will square back up with him. Good job. But then what Alex Volkanovski started to do was he started circling in front of Diego Lopes' power. So when you have somebody circling in front of your power, the things you could do is you can wait till they throw a jab. Because when they throw a jab, he's not coming this way, he's coming this way. He's going to go this way. So when you're here, when he throws a jab, you slip. So typically when they teach you how to slip, you want to slip this way. You want to slip on the outside of it because when somebody throwing a jab, they want to be in front of you or they want to go this way. 9 out of 10 times, people are going to throw a jab and go this way into your power, right? So when traditionally you slip a jab this way, right? They never say slip inside. The reason why is because I'm slipping into his power, right? So in this case, when you have somebody who's throwing a jab and you're circling into your power, you slip inside the jab and you come over the top. So you basically go like this, boom, you drop it over the top. You have to time it perfectly. But Diego Lopes never made that adjustment. Diego Lopes never tried to pop him with his jab because he is longer. The times that Diego Lopes did get something going when he went jab to the head, jab to the body, and then when Diego Lopes took him down, Alex Volkanovski did jump for the guillotine. They went to the ground. Alex Volkanovski did a good job of creating a knee shield. He turtled. Diego Lopes got his back, put the body triangle in, was going for the choke. And that's one thing I felt Diego Lopes didn't start sooner. But let me go back. Let me retract. I believe it's the first round, Alex Volkanovski did shoot on Diego Lopes. When they both went back to the corner, the one thing that Diego Lopes said was that I have to respect this takedown. So boom, right there, Alex Volkanovski was beating him up on the feet, turning him, staying ahead of him. But then what does he do? He shoots a takedown just to throw it in his mind. Even though Alex Volkanovski did not succeed with that takedown, he put that check mark in Diego Lopes's mind that I have to respect the takedown. I cannot allow, I have to respect it, right? That's all you need. A lot of fighters will negate even just going bam and just trying to take somebody down. If you do that and you succeed, boom, good job, you got a takedown. But if you do it and you guys gonna tussle, when he sits back to the corner, you do a mental check where he's like, okay, I forgot this is an MMA fight, right? So I had to retract because that was something good that Alex Volkanovski did. And we actually got to see the outcome of that. You guys got to see the thing that light bulb will go off in his head, right? So the fight continues. Alex Volkanovski keeps on doing what he does. He keeps on forcing Diego Lopes to follow him and try to catch him. And then each time Alex Volkanovski would hit him, Diego Lopes would hit him. They had some good flurry, some good exchange. One thing that Diego Lopes does is that when he gets hit, he wants to hit you back immediately. Instead of like, boom, you get it, I gotta hit you back. Instead, boom, he hit me. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna try to get closer because I know I'm not gonna be able to get close enough all the time. But when I do get close, I gotta make it count. And that's one thing that Alex Volkanovski does so well is he will spend 2 minutes going lateral, fixing, pun, where throw body kicks. You throw a body kick, he has to respect it. You can check it, he can grab it. Like I just feel that, you know, once again, I felt this fight was too soon for Diego Lopes. Now you have a guy who's on a two-fight losing streak to the champion. He's not on a two-fight losing streak, but he's lost twice to the champion. So the opportunity for him to get a title shot while Alex Volkanovski is still the champion is going to be very less likely. Even though I thought this was going to be Alex Volkanovski's last fight. I thought he was going to go off into the sunset as a champion. 37, but no, he's sticking around to fight the winner of the Ron Murphy versus Movsar Evloev. Now, I want to talk a little more about Diego Lopes and Alex Volkanovski. Then we'll move on to that next fight, what we can expect from there. But I do want to give Diego Lopes flowers because he did do a good job of making some adjustments. He made an adjustment from the last fight, but he didn't make an adjustment from the adjustment inside the fight. And those are the things where even when I spar, right? We're dropping a Mighty Journey this week where I train with Armor Sarukian. Right when I'm sparring Armor Sarukian, I can feel his rhythm. I can feel the way he wants to move, how he moves, and then I'm able to make adjustments on the fly because it's just very strategic, technical ability of footwork where it's like, nope, I'm not, nope, okay, I'm going, okay, perfect. It's always changing. So you guys look out for that. But want to give Diego Lopes flowers for where they're due. I think if Diego Lopes spends more time of just understanding just the aspect of the chess match of mixed martial arts, I think you're going to see him get back to a title shot again. Alex Volkanovski, congrats to him. I sent him a message on WhatsApp, said good job, X, Y, and Z, and enjoy this, enjoy the family, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Now let's look to Alex Volkanovski's next opponent, potentially Movsar Evloev taking on Ron Murphy. I like this because you have Movsar who's just going to go out there and try to lay on Ron Murphy, and Ron Murphy's got to use his athletic ability and his skill set from keeping him off, keeping Movsar off him. But the first thing Movsar's got to do, Movsar's got to stay healthy enough to make it to the fight. If Movsar can't stay healthy enough to even make it to the fight, then we're probably going to see Ron Murphy taking on Alex Volkanovski. I know there's a whole bunch of rumors going around that, you know, Armor Sarukian's willing to drop down to 145. I don't like that. Armor Sarukian is way too big for that division, and why cut out all that muscle that he has just to make 145? It doesn't make sense to me. So, but boys, if you guys enjoyed this breakdown, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live. And this wasn't a breakdown. I apologize. It was a breakdown, but my final thoughts on UFC 325, VOLK taking on Diego Lopes. So leave it a comment. I'm sorry, I got a lot of L's. You know, I felt I went with BSD. VOLK, I know I picked him for sure. I know I went Tuivasa because I thought his back against the wall. And then I think I went against, I can't remember who I picked against Fiziev or Ruffy, but I might have picked Fiziev. But anywho, like, subscribe, hit the button to go live, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.